I want to talk about a city that almost never comes up in conversation about where to live in the Denver metro. And I genuinely think it's a mistake. Northglenn doesn't have the Instagram presence of Cherry Creek. It doesn't have the name recognition of Thornton or Westminster. Most people drive through it on I-25 and don't even think twice. And that's honestly part of why I think it's worth your attention. Because while everyone else is overlooking it, buyers who do their homework are finding some of the best value in the entire northern metro right here. So today, I'm giving Northglenn a real look. Honest pros, honest cons, current market data, and who this city is actually a great fit for. So let's get into it. Quick facts. Before we get into the pros and cons, here's what you need to know about Northglenn just at a glance. Northglenn sits about 9 miles north of downtown Denver in Adams County, same county as Brighton and Commerce City. It has a population right around 38,000 people, which makes it a mid-sized city by Colorado standards. Here's a piece of history I did find genuinely interesting. Northglenn was one of Colorado's first master planned communities. It was purpose-built in the late 1950s with open space, parks, and neighborhood connectivity built right into the design from day one. It's not an accident, and you can feel it when you drive through. It's a grid of neighborhoods with greenery and breathing room that a lot of newer suburbs are still trying to figure out. By 1962, just a few years after the first homes were built, the population was already at 10,000 people. It grew fast because the concept worked. And today, it sits on the border of Adams and Weld counties with easy I-25 access that puts you in downtown Denver in about 20 to 25 minutes depending on traffic. One more thing worth knowing, Northglenn is one of the most diverse cities in the North Metro. About 38% of its residents identify as Hispanic or Latino, and the city has a real multicultural community feel that you don't find in every suburb up here. For a lot of buyers, that's a meaningful part of the appeal. The pros. Okay, let's start with what Northglenn has going for it, and there's more here than what most people expect. Pro 1. The price point is genuinely one of the best in the northern metro. Median home values in Northglenn are hovering right around $470,000, which in the context of Denver Metro is a realistic entry point. You can get a single family home here with a yard, a garage, established landscaping, and actual square footage for a price that would get you a small condo in a trendier part of the city. For first-time buyers, people relocating from expensive markets, or anyone trying to maximize what they get for their money, this is often where the math starts to make sense. Pro 2. Location is underrated. 9 miles from downtown Denver, quick I-25 access, and you can be at DIA in about 25 minutes. And you're sandwiched between Thornton to the east and Westminster to the west, which means you have access to the shopping, dining, and amenities of both without paying their pricey premiums. The location is genuinely convenient without the congestion of being inside the city. Pro 3. The park system is legitimately impressive. This is one of those things that surprises people when they actually look into Northglenn. The city has a 550-acre park system and 28 parks, which for a city of 38,000 people is a lot of green space. The crown jewel here is E.B. Raines Jr. Memorial Park, which sits on Webster Lake and actually won an American's Crown Community Award for its rehabilitation and redesign. We're talking trails, picnic areas, a sensory playground, a rotating public art program with sculptures on loan, and you can rent paddle boats on the lake. That's not what most people picture when they think of Northglenn. Croak Reservoir is another spot that draws outdoor enthusiasts. It's a city that built outdoor living into its DNA from the start, and it shows. Pro 4. Strong community infrastructure. The Northglenn Recreation Center has pools, fitness facilities, and programming for all ages. The city runs community events throughout the year, including a Pirate Fest. Yes, an actual Pirate Fest, which is very Northglenn energy. There's a senior center, a community theater, youth programs, and summer camps, just to name a few. This is a city that truly invests in its residents' quality of life in a way that feels genuine rather than performative. Pro 5. It's an established neighborhood, not a construction zone. If you've been looking at the outer suburbs, you know what it's like to buy in an area that's still half dirt lots and orange construction fencing. Northglenn is fully built out and established. The trees are mature. The neighborhoods have character. There's an authenticity to the streetscapes that newer master plan communities spend decades trying to develop. For buyers who want to move in and actually feel settled, that matters. Pro 6, proximity to major employers. Lockheed Martin is one of the significant employers in the broader northern metro area, and Northglenn's location puts residents within easy reach of the tech aerospace corridor along that I-25 corridor. Combined with easy access to downtown Denver, this is a practical commuter location for a wide range of industries. The honest cons. Now onto the cons, because you can't have the yin without the yang. Con 1, it doesn't have a vibrant dining or nightlife scene. I'll be direct, Northglenn is not a foodie destination. You have your chains, you have your fast food, you have some solid neighborhood spots, but if you want a walkable restaurant scene with independent bars and interesting dining options within your zip code, you're gonna be driving to Thornton, Westminster, or Denver. That's not a deal breaker for everyone, but it's a real thing you should know before you move here. Con 2. Some parts of the city feel dated. Being one of the first master planned communities in Colorado means some of the areas of Northglenn are showing their age. You'll find blocks that feel well kept and thriving right next to areas that need some TLC. The city has been actively investing in revitalization, but it's uneven. This is actually important advice for buyers. The neighborhood you're within, Northglenn, matters a lot. Don't buy based on city averages, research the specific block. Con 3, less name cachet than neighboring cities. I know this probably sounds superficial, but it's real. If you're someone who wants to say that you live in Westminster or Thornton, Northglenn doesn't carry that same weight in casual conversation. It's an underdog city. And for some buyers, the perception of where they live matters to them. So I'd rather tell you now. For what it's worth, the underdog status is exactly why the value is here. The market hasn't fully priced in what Northglenn actually offers. Con 4, school district research matters. Northglenn is primarily served by the Adams 12 5-star school district. Like any district, there's a significant variability between individual schools. Don't make a buying decision based on the district name alone. Look at the specific schools zoned for your neighborhoods that you're considering, and be sure to do your own research. Greatschools.org and the state's school report cards are a good starting off point. Con 5, retail and entertainment are aging. The Northglenn marketplace area has seen some turnover over the last years, and while it's functional, it doesn't have the polished, updated feel of newer retail corridors in the surrounding suburbs. This is actively changing. There has been ongoing development and investment, but it's worth seeing the area in person before you commit. The housing market right now, let's talk numbers. And I want to be upfront. I'm going to give you the current data, but always verify with your agent and pull fresh MLS comps before making any decisions, because the market here moves quickly. Median home prices in Northglenn are sitting in the $470,000 range right now. Homes have been averaging around 28 days on market depending on price point and condition. What that tells us is it's not a bidding war market, but homes priced well are still moving. You have room to negotiate here in a way that you don't in some of the hotter parts of the metro. Comparable square footage and lot size in Westminster or Thornton will cost you meaningfully more. If that gap closes over time, and historically, undervalued established neighborhoods do close the gap, buyers who get in now could see a real appreciation. That's not a guarantee, but it's a thesis worth understanding. The inventory of homes in Northglenn tends to be smaller than the newer suburban builds further out, which means less selection, but also less competition. You're looking at established single-family homes, townhomes, and condos, a range of options across the price points. So who is Northglenn actually a great fit for? First-time buyers who want to maximize their dollar and get into an established neighborhood without the outer suburb commute. Buyers relocating from expensive markets who want real square footage and yard at a price that doesn't require a calculator to make work. People who value outdoor access, green space, and community character over trendy amenities. Who might want to look elsewhere? If a vibrant restaurant scene, newer construction, or a specific school district are non-negotiables for you, that's important information, and we should talk through the other options in the North Metro that might be a better fit. And that's honestly the whole point. Finding the right city isn't about picking the most popular one. It's about understanding what you actually want and matching it to what's out there. Northglenn is genuinely underestimated. Not for everyone, but for the right buyer, it's one of those smartest moves in the market right now. If you have questions about Northglenn or anywhere else in this area, drop them in the comments or reach out to us directly. And if this was helpful, give us a like and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss what's coming, because we're covering every corner of the North Metro this year. I'm Kristen Rodney. Thanks again for watching, and remember, with Rodney Homes, we help your dreams find their address.